So the SABRS is a universal screening tool designed for completion by teachers, classroom teachers, that have a good amount of experience interacting with the students in their classroom. So it's a brief measure, only 19 items, intended to be completed by the teacher for every student within their classroom. It takes about 1 to 3 minutes to complete, depending on the particular kid that they happen to be assessing at the time. When it's completed, what we get is information related to a number of different areas. So we get information about a child's social functioning, their emotional functioning, their ability to regulate their emotions, as well as their more behaviors related to academics as well. So this could be their preparedness for instruction, their engagement with instruction, the things that we know that set them up to learn within the classroom. When it's finished, we get scores in all 3 of those areas, but we also get an overall score, which we find is really predictive of students who require additional support to be successful within the classroom. So SABRS can be used like other screeners for a couple different reasons. One, it can be used primarily to identify students who need additional support. We know that a lot of schools also use it to identify classrooms or teachers that need additional support. Maybe there's a number of concerns that have popped up with a particular classroom. If we're able to identify those teachers, we can provide them additional supports, which can hopefully be implemented class-wide and impact a large number of students at once. We also know that a lot of schools also use screeners as part of a program evaluation effort. So it might be that they administer it across all classrooms within a school, and they evaluate those scores, how they change over time, and saying to what extent are our universal supports for student behavior actually affecting students, and are they kind of decreasing the risks that we see over time, and hopefully preventing major problems from popping up. The MySABRS is a companion to the SABRS. While the SABRS is a teacher rating scale, the MySABRS is a student self-report rating scale. There's a high amount of overlap between the SABRS and MySABRS item content, in the extent that all of the items look very similar, so that we get information really about the same behaviors from 2 different informants, both the teacher and the students themselves. So it's completed a very similar approach, where the student just fills it out just thinking about themselves and their behavior over the previous month. And we find that it's important to look to students for perceptions of their own behavior, particularly as it relates to certain concerns. As students get older, a lot of what previously might have been externalized emotional challenges are increasingly moving inward. So research suggests that if you want good information about a student's emotional functioning, sometimes you actually have to ask them about what's going on within them, within their minds. There could be things there that we don't necessarily see behaviorally, so it's important to get their perspective as well.